That was good. And why am I wearing a sweater? Because it is cold in this house, dog. No, I don't even know. I said dog for a specific reason. And guys, these last couple of videos I've been doing, I've been crying in them and stuff, and it's been terrible. I wish I could just stop doing these sad videos. I don't even know why I chose these topics to do, but it's stuff I want to remember, and it's my high school, but it just makes me cry. What is up, guys? It's your boy Gage, Horne, bringing you guys another high school stories episode in our series about my dog that I grew up with. And as always, we all know with dog movies and stories, they all end sadly. So I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. So there's this dog that my aunt got when I was in the, just a baby, literally just a baby, not even a baby, and what do you call them? Fetus, when I was a little fetus in my mom's tummy, yes. You know, I mean, we all know how, babies work. It's just this little thing. What happens, it's like this, and then this little thing, and then it goes like this, and then the thing grows, and then it, comes out. Yeah, it's very bad. Ask your parents how kids are born. Don't ask me. I still don't know. Okay, guys, seriously. My dog, Mo, is a very amazing, great dog. When I was in my mom's stomach, when I was in my mom's stomach, my aunt, which is my mom's sister, my mom was 16 when she got pregnant with me. She dropped out of high school, and that's a whole nother story, but to raise me. But when she was home and stuff, and she was pregnant with me, and she was about 17 when she had me. She was 17 when she had me, pregnant when she was 16 though. When she was around 17, my aunt went to the store one day, and my grandpa, which is a very, very strict grandpa, I promise you guys, I have some crazy stories to tell you guys about how strict he's been with my parents, or with my mom and my mom's sister. They're the only sibling, I think, well, yeah, they're the only siblings or whatever, but I grew up with my grandpa, and they were just a pain in the butt. But before my aunt got older and got a pain in the butt, because my aunt, it was only 7 when my mom was 16. Wait, no, she was 10 when my mom was 16. But my grandpa promised her a dog, my mom's dad. So my mom was home with me pregnant, and so my aunt went out with my grandpa and went out to go pick a dog. And they went, I don't know where it was, but they went out and picked up a dog, a little baby dog. And this dog is incredible. When my aunt picked it out, I remember her telling me the story that when she and my grandpa went to pick it out, that they went up to this gate, and there's a bunch of little golden retriever babies running all around and stuff. And then when they walked up to the gate, all of them came running to her, and she was looking at all of them. But then she looked back, and there was this one little puppy that was playing with a ball in the corner, and just kind of doing its own thing in the corner. And she said, "I want that one." That decision right there, when she was 10 years old, was the best decision my aunt's ever made that affected me. She chose this dog. I call him Mo, or Moski. This dog was the most funnest, craziest dog ever. They took it home. My mom loved him. And they just we're always playing with them, and we have so much baby footage of when I was born, or around that, around the younger days when my mom was young and stuff, which feels weird when you see your mom as young as you. You're just oh my god, this is weird. But I even have a video in my drawer right now that has some footage of him, and I need to protect that CD with my life, because I think it's the last CD I have of him, or the youngest CD that I have of Moski alive with me as a baby and stuff. I think it's the only one, so I protect it. It means a lot more than you guys know. And they like fell in love, and I was born, and this is what this footage is. I'm about maybe 1 year old or something, and I'm playing with the ball, and then this dog comes out of nowhere and flies and like jumps over me and falls over me, and I just like fall down and I get back up, and I just start crying and bawling because the dog knocked me over. And the dog's all like hopping over me and like push me back and forth, and I'm like trying to crawl away, and the dog's just like all over me. And this dog was just really happy, energetic dog. And then finally, I just like, my mom comes picks me up, and everyone's just like laughing so hard in the room, and I'm like crying and tearing and just bawling like bad. And finally, they just like they all like just kind of get the dog off me and just pick me up and everything. The video kind of just like cuts out, and they get a lot more other footage of different times, and so I just remember that one being like the beginning, opening footage. But then, all the way I was raised up till about, I think about 6, 7 years old. When I'm this age, of course my mom got her own place by then and stuff like that, and my aunt doesn't have her own place, or did she? I don't remember. No, of course she didn't. But my mom had her own place and stuff, and so we kept the dog, of course, in my grandpa's. And so my mom was raising me, and stuff like that, and it was really cool because every weekend my grandpa would come pick me up after school on Friday and bring me back home on Sunday night. So every weekend from 7 years old up to 17 years old, I went to my grandpa Rick's. Every weekend. Guys, every weekend. It sounds crazy, but it was like if I missed it, it would be because of some kind of basketball game, or like when I was in flag football or something like that. Like it'd be something like that, and he would of course be the one that's even driving me there or something, But it was very rare when I missed it. And then once I got the age of 16, I stopped going over there less and less, because who normally goes over to their grandpa's at like. Wait, I totally lied. Sorry about that. Take it back. Zip. It was all the way up from 7 years old up to 14 years old, not 17. I said that, and I don't even know why I said that. 14 years old, guys. And when I remember, because it was at the beginning of beginning of high school. Don't know why I said 17. That would be weird if I was still going over this old. Well, it wouldn't be weird. I would actually honestly love to. But point being, why I'm telling this story is, guys, when you get older, you stop going over to your parents. So like me, when I was going over there every week, and once I got to the age of 14, I hit high school, I wanted to spend time with friends. I didn't want to go over there as much anymore. I didn't want to at all. And I remember him inviting me a couple things, and I was like, no, I have things to do, and I'd make up something, but I would actually go hang out with my friends. And I wasn't a very bright, smart kid back then. But I finally got a bunch of stuff going on, and so I told him I couldn't go I couldn't go one week, and he finally just got the message like I didn't want to come over anymore, which he understood, because I was getting to that age where I needed to like grow up and have my weekends back and then like get my life, which was, he understood, and I love that about him. So, which is way crazy. So after that, so you can tell like I was a really just grew up like really close to my grandpa, because I went over there every weekend. So the dog was at his house, and Moski was at his house every weekend. It was with him all week long, but I got to see him every weekend. So, and I remember it'd be times when Moski, at this stage, like let's say around 10 years old, I remember every time like my grandpa would go shut his door, and the dog usually slept like on like his own like little tent looking thing outside the door. But I'd go grab him. My grandpa shut his door and went to bed. I'd go grab him, I'd sneak him over, and I'd get him up on my bed, which my grandpa hated that because he'd get fur everywhere. But I just loved sleeping with him. I'm like, come on, hurry. And I'd pull the blanket over us, and I'd just like cuddle with him like every night. And my grandpa didn't know for like the longest time. It got to the point where he did my laundry a couple times and started noticing fur on the laundry, because I normally did it. Back in those days, I swear it was just you throw the laundry in, not even soap or anything, just throw the laundry in and just hit a button, and there you go, it's washing. But now it's like ding 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 ding. All right, start. Oh well, crap, forgot this. Ding 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 ding. All right, go. And so that's how our washer is. It's so many buttons and crap. So it's like so. Anyway, so it was just, I used to spend so much time. I'd take him to the park. I'd walk him every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning, I'd wake up. I'd go sleep early on Friday. Every Saturday morning, I'd take him on a walk. Unless we went fishing or something, I'd do it Sunday morning. with my grandpa or something like that, I would take him Sunday morning, but I'd take him on a walk to the park that was really just a block away, and I'd walk around the block like tons and tons of times. I'd do it for like, during the summer, I'd go get free lunch or something, and yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I'd spend a lot of time with this dog, and so it's weird to bring it into high school stories, I should say, but keep looking away because I'm not trying to cry. So it's just the same story as anybody else can say. It's just a dog that I fell in love with, that I'll always have him in my heart for the rest of my life. I did everything with him. I seen him every weekend, and I grew up with him. When my grandpa had to go out of town, I'd bring him to my house, and I'd take care of him, and I'd put him up on this exact same bed. And I know because every time you get on this bed, it squeaks, and the dog would, like, when he like does his little like walk around the circle and then lay down, like he'd make the bed squeak when he did that. And this was just not a German. If I said German Shepherd, my bad. It's a golden retriever. That's if I said that earlier. A golden retriever. And this golden retriever is just amazing, and I love him so goddamn much. So much. He got really old. Of course. What happened is, oh, I'm getting dizzy. Oh, okay. I'm just really dizzy right now. So, sorry, okay, I'm alright. Just need to lean back for a second. I try to do all these in like one long shot, you know, and I've already messed up on this video like 4 times. And one of them started crying, so I'm trying to like avoid that for the 4th time, you know. So, anyways, jumping into this video, so I don't start all over again. This dog got old, and I was about, like I was saying, 14 when I stopped going over there. So I stopped seeing them as much. I didn't see them every week, and I only went over there for like barbecues, stopped by every once in a while, you know, all kind of event, like all holidays we went over there still and stuff. So I seen them quite just an okay much, but not as lot as I used to. If any of that made sense, just didn't see them as much as I used to. And finally, I remember going over there, and my grandpa was like, "Hey, want to go over to my house and paint?" And I was 17 years old at this age, right? This wasn't very long ago. It's this year. I go over to his house to paint, you know, and I was like, "Oh, let's use a paintbrush and paint all the, like the outside the window part." I forgot what it was called, but not the actual house, but just the outside of the window part, because it was like a little stuff that you can paint. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll paint it." So I went over there, and I remember I had let Mo out, and he was really, really old. It got to the point when he got out, he was like walking really, really slow. Like he was like, every time, this is how bad it'd be. My grandma would tell me, and he'd be walking around the house, he'd fall down, and he didn't have the strength to get back up. He would just lay there for hours and like fall asleep and just lay there for hours till he got the strength to get back up. There've been numerous times my grandpa had to go get him from, like, he'd be like laying in the middle of like the stairs or something, so my grandpa had to go pick him up and put him in his tent so he could sleep for the night. And then after that, it even got to the point where he couldn't do stairs anymore, so my grandpa had to pick him up and take him up and down the stairs when he went outside. And I remember when I did the same thing when I went over to paint his house, and I'm like, "Come here," and you know, he got up all slowly and walked over and limped over to me, and I pick him up and I put him down on the ground, and he follows me out, and I let him go use the bathroom. I put him on a chain, even though he doesn't even need a chain, you know, but we always put him on a chain just in case. He's ran away a couple of times, so I guess we do need a chain, but not when he's at this age anyways. So I put him on a chain, and I start painting the house, you know, and I remember I called my grandpa, I'm like, "Hey, it's done, you know, I could do a secondary paint." He's like, "No, it'll be fine, that one layer will be fine." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, it does look alright, you know." So he's like, "If we do it, we'll do it again like later this year or something, but it looks good right now." Like I was like, "Yeah, it looks good right now." And he's like, "Alright, we'll just do another one later this year." I'm like, "Okay, cool. So I get back in my car and I go home, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Leave Mo outside." And I'm like, "Alright, I'll do that." And so I go home and stuff, and then my grandpa gets home, he lets him inside and stuff, and then they like hang out inside, and then right before my grandpa's about to, when my grandpa went to bed and woke up the next morning, he finally picked Mo up again, took him outside, laid him down, and, you know, let him put him on his leash, went back inside and watched TV. Now this is the part that my grandpa describes to me, and this is the most painful part, is where a neighbor had to come knock on my grandpa's door, and my grandpa got up and answered the door and was like, hey, he's like, I think your dog's dead. I think your dog's dead in the backyard. And my grandpa's like, what? And freaked out. And I've never heard my grandpa cry the whole time I lived with him. The whole time I lived with him. Not once have I ever heard him cry. And then he calls my mom, and I'm at my house, and I hear him like crying over the phone. I'm across the room, and I hear him just like crying and bawling over the phone. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? He's like, Mo's dead. I'm like, what? Kidding, right? You're kidding, my dog's dead. Oh, God. So after that, I got the phone and I'm like, Gramps, you alright? I'll be alright, I love this dog. I'm like, I'm sorry, Gramps. Me and Mom and my brothers got in the car and we headed over there, and the dog is he's already gone. You know, the people came and got him and stuff like that, and my grandpa's just sitting on the couch, and you know, and I'm just like, is everything okay? And he's like, yeah, I could see that he was done crying. I'm just like, everything okay? He's like, you know what, Gage? This is the best part. This is how I like to think about it. And I don't care what anybody else tells me different. I don't care what anybody out there tells me different. He goes, Gage, I'm so happy right now. I'm like, why? Grandpa, why could we be happy that our dog's gone? And he goes, because he's in a better place now. I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, he's in a better place. Every day, I had to get up and help this dog and watch him basically die a slowly death. He was in pain. He had, it was like arthritis. Maybe it was just called arthritis, something like that. He had this thing he couldn't even he had so many, not diseases, but painful things for dogs when you get older, and he just had a bunch of problems. He was losing his sight, and he's just like, I remember my grandpa looked at me, he's like, and he hugged me, he's like, everything will be okay, because how I see it, it's a blessing in disguise. That God took him away from us so he didn't have to be in pain every day. I didn't have to sit here and watch him die every day. That he is finally just up there being happy and just being in dog heaven, whatever you want to call it. That everything's going to be just fine because now he's not in pain and he's happy because he's in a better place. It's like, thanks, Gramps. I believe that 100%. Oh God, I remember just hugging my grandpa. My mom was just kind of like tearing up on the side, and I was hugging him just forever. I just remember, and we had some food. We went out in the backyard and we just ate some like barbecued burgers and just like thought of old memories. And we even pulled out a DVD before we left and watched some old videos with him. And the reason it's so painful for me, guys, is because I've never in my life had a family member, and I've said this in a couple of my videos even in the past, that I've never had someone personally that I'm really, really close to die in my life. Ever. And I don't think I'm prepared for this. Because when I think about just my dog Mosi, that I can't hold or see him run anymore, or just can't hold him or cuddle with him at night. I can't do those things. It just brings me to tears, because it's just something you know you can't do anymore. And it's what kills you, because you just know that you'll never see him again. I can't handle it. That's why each and every day I just try to live life to the fullest and just be happy that the family that I have loves me, that the friends I have love me too, and that everything will be 100% okay. That's how I always try to think about it. And when the next person dies, it will be painful. I know it will be. Just losing my dog tears my heart out of my chest. I see myself more than lucky to have the family that I have, the healthy and happy family that I have. More than lucky. I'm so thankful for everything that everyone's done for me. over YouTube and my family and everything. I love this dog, guys. I love it so much. I love him so much, not it. I love him so much. I don't care what anybody out there thinks about all of this, or there's no such place as heaven, or any of that kind of stuff. Because I know, I have to know, that my dog is up there, watching over me. As gay as it sounds, it's what I believe. I could go into story, talking about how much this dog has changed my life. How much everything we did, the playthings, but all I can tell you guys is we were best friends. Just like any other man's best friend and a man's love friendship they have. Any is that. We just had just as much as that. We did everything together. We went camping, hunting, everything. And one day I'll make a bigger video talking about our past and stuff, but I want to make this just saying that I did have in my high school stories that I had one person or animal that was close to me pass away, and I will always love him, and I will always miss him. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot. Please let me, I want to ask one question, and I normally don't do this in my high school stories, but leave a comment below. Have you guys had a loved one pass away? If so, how'd you handle it at first? Because if I'm crying on camera, even though it's been how many months since he's passed, I still gotta say. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you all. Have a good day. Peace out.